All right, everybody, welcome to BO Boys for Sunday, June 29th. Fuck it, it's a raw feed. We're doing it live, back in studio. I'm Clayton.
Yeah, I'm Pat. Clayton, what a giant weekend at the box office. I mean, this was incredible. We've got a huge success, and we have possibly the death of a franchise, the death of a character, the death of a famous production company, possibly. I mean, just how bad is this Megan situation? We will get into it. Plus, we have James Bond news, and we have Fast and Furious news. I mean, this is a jam-packed summer episode. And so I say, let's just get into it with a plow. We got to start with a plow. So could you give us a summertime box office plow for the weekend of Friday, June 27th?
Number one, Vroom, Vroom, Vroom. F1 the movie made $55.6 million in its first weekend. Number two, How to Train Your Dragon made $19.4 million, down 47%. It lost 246 theaters. It's at $200 million in its third weekend of release. Number three, Elio made $10.7 million, down 49%. It's at $42.2 million in its second weekend of release. Ooh, number four.
Oof.
Megan 2.0 made $10.2 million in its opening bow.
Oof.
Number five, 28 years later, made $9.7 million, down 68%. No theater change. It's at $50.3 million in its second weekend. And let's go to six. Number six, Lilo and Stitch, $6.9 million, down 29%. It lost 475 theaters. It's at $400 million domestic in its sixth weekend of release. That's your top six.
I mean, do we want to just do it? Go to lucky number 11.
I mean, this is great. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, $4.1 million, down 36%. It lost 446 theaters. It's at $185.9 million in its sixth weekend.
And then, you know what? We might as well. 8 is enough. 8 is enough. Materialist, number 8. It made $2.999 million, dropped 53%. It's at $30 million. So Materialist is going to make this Dakota Johnson rom-com that has no com is going to make so much more money.
And barely a rom, I've heard.
Barely a rom, zero com, but it's got Dakota Johnson. So if you hate Ellen, you could go out and celebrate by spending your money on Materialist and celebrate Dakota Johnson. She didn't get invited to the birthday party, but $30 million for Materialist, it's going to make way more than Megan 2.0. I mean, who would have said that before this summer? People were predicting. Was it us predicting? I don't know. Who knows? You can never know. But people were predicting that Megan was going to win this weekend. Months ago, that was pretty much the consensus, that Megan 2.0 was going to beat F1. And in terms of making more money than Materialist, that wasn't even ever a debate.
They weren't ever mentioned in the same conversation, really, because of the difference in success rate for one of them.
Yep.
And the fact that one's an A24 movie and the other one is a Blumhouse sequel.
Yep.
That
IP. We thought Megan was IP for a new generation. That is what we thought. I mean, I think we got to just start with this Megan.
Yeah. And here's the thing. So it came on tracking at 30.
Yes.
So it's not like this came out of nowhere and this was pie in the sky and there's no evidence towards this.
There was data. There was scientific data that said Megan 2.0 would open at least 30.
Yeah. We didn't know what F1 was going to do because F1 is a movie that has the things that have come before it, Apple Crapple TV Plus movies, plus racing movies, never did great shakes at the theaters. So there's a reasoning for people to think, it could open to 20, whatever. But let's talk about Megan 2.0. Yeah. It's a movie I have in the draft.
You still have it.
I still have it.
This ends your team at this point. I know you have Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Rebirth coming out next.
And I have F1.
And you do have F1. Okay, so there you go. All right, so maybe I take that back.
I think Megan,
we got to do the math, and we got to get everyone in for a special episode.
But I think I think Megan. I was assuming at the worst, Megan would have made what the first one made, and that is not happening.
No.
I mean, coming into this weekend, the tracking dropped so low that people were talking
lower than Solo.
They were talking about Joker. Folie à doo-doo. This to some people, obviously, budget
this is a
and all
Joker
that.
folie à doo-doo situation in terms of first movie to second movie.
Yeah,
this is a folie à doo-doo,
and this will drop like folie à doo-doo. Like this is going to drop in the 80s.
Yes, next weekend
it'll be non-existent.
Megan will make $2 or $3 million next weekend. That is going to happen, and I hope Blumhouse and Jason Blum are ready for that to happen because. I mean, we are YouTubers. Hey, guys. And I'm saying this direct to camera. Jason Blum, that is going to happen.
Yeah.
Megan 2.0 will drop in the 70%. This will be a Morbius drop. So prepare yourselves for that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about 4th of July weekends coming up. I got to buy hot dogs. I got to buy the hot dog buns to match the number of hot dogs I buy. Don't worry about any of that if you're at Blumhouse. You worry about there is a Morbius drop coming for Megan, and that is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
So,
what happened here? What the F happened here? And I want to save the F bombs for later in the show. I don't want to blow them all.
Yeah,
right
we only get
a few. Yeah, you only get a few, but
and it depends in certain contexts. We can't use it in the context of
an action.
F you.
Yes,
I'm going to F you in the A. We can't say that.
We can't say that.
We can say it as
what the F.
What the F.
Yes, exactly.
As exclamation of incredulousness.
Exactly.
So, it's funny because I've been so excited about this F1 opening that I really haven't.
And that doesn't count. Saying F1, that doesn't count as one of our Fs.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's the name of the movie.
But I'm trying to figure out what the demos even were for Megan and who actually even showed up for
went.
this.
I mean, it probably was very female heavy.
Mm-hmm.
The first movie opened to 30. This movie will not even sniff
that
a total of 30.
Yeah.
It will not. It will cume out probably lower than 20. It's going to cume lower than 20. The first one opened to 30. This is one of the epic IP handling failures.
Okay, so let's look at some demos here from Anthony D. calling us dummies again. D. Alessandro.
We're going to get to that because that's an F1 related paragraph.
Yeah.
But I mean, another huge bit of news. It happened again. Anthony D. is for calling us and his readers dummies. D. Alessandro. We'll get to that paragraph.
Female leaning at 53%. Women and men over 25 leading demos at 34. 18 to 34 was 54%, with 25 to 34 the biggest age demo for the movie at 32%. Caucasian 46%, Latino and Hispanic 24%, 18% Black, 6% Asian American. So
the demos are fine within a small total number.
Well, that's the thing.
So
yeah,
it's like
the
percentages of 10 million is kind of a, and I'm going to do this on air for our YouTube. It's kind of I did that. I did and people who are listening, they know what I did. The hand, I'll say it. It's the J.O. motion. Because who cares what the demos are for Megan 2.0 when the $10 million is that low?
I feel like you doing the J.O. motion means that we have to not say one of the Fs we were going to say.
Oh, they're two separate categories.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
we got some blowback about not being a family show after Brett from the New Flesh,
right,
Roger and Me podcast came on, and the caution tape
was off. It's always off when Brett's here. Well, I'll speaking of Brett put out a tweet today.
Okay.
Listen, he's always on fire on Twitter. This guy takes no prisoners. He's got a take no prisoners in your face brand of tweeting. Mm-hmm. Some people have that brand of stand-up comedy. Brett of the New Flesh has that when it comes to tweets.
Yeah, he can't tweet at colleges.
No, not anymore. Not anymore. He tweeted, Blumhouse brand went from hot commodity to toxic so fast, they're going to have to rename themselves or spin off to a different company, LOL. So that's That's the tweet.
Isn't this what I said?
That's the tweet.
Isn't this what I said last episode? You were shocked when we went through their movies from the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And the epic failures that they've had.
Yep.
And not even failures, just complete and total nothings.
Yes.
That have come from that studio.
Woman in the Yard situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is on the cock now.
It is on the cock. I saw Woman in the Yard was on the cock.
Yeah.
And
she's in the yard and on the cock.
Yeah. I mean, are people watching that? I've gotten some information that people are just watching it just to clown on it.
Well, after
and that's the phrase they use. I wouldn't use a phrase as corny as clown on, but I have heard people saying, I'm watching Woman in the Yard on the cock just to clown on it.
Did they decide to watch it after the pay-per-view this weekend where CM Punk got clowned, and then they're like, let's just keep the clown show going.
Let's keep the clown show going. A lot of clowning going on, but that is on the cock, and Blumhouse is becoming a brand that is just on the cock.
That's what I'm saying.
They're an on the cock brand.
It's wait for the cock.
Yeah. Yeah, Blumhouse, we're on the cock.
Yeah.
And that slogan could definitely work for certain people in certain business ventures.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works for this low-budget horror movie production company.
No.
We're on the cock. Again, that could totally work for you depending on your brand and what business you're in. I don't know if it works for Blumhouse, but that is what they are. They're on the cock.
So apparently the director also of Megan 2.0 and the architect, they keep calling him the architect of Megan.
Okay.
And I guess he tweeted or Instagrammed or blue skied or whatever he did.
Yeah.
To get to his fans, said, please go see Megan 2.0. The next one will be a horror movie.
Oh, wow. So he's begging.
He's begging.
He's begging.
Begging for Megan. He's begging for Megan 3.0.
Oh.
And
buddy, straight to camera, we are YouTubers. Hey, guys. Hey, architect.
Yeah.
Of the Megan franchise. It ain't happening. Megan 3.0 ain't happening.
Please let me build another building.
Right.
The next building I build will be nice and people will want to go in it.
You're right. It won't topple on opening weekend like the building I just built. It won't fall on your head.
Crumble.
Right.
So, but it's
ribbon
better.
Cutting building falls. I mean, that is what this was, you know.
I will say it is better than, which we haven't, it's not the end of the weekend yet, so maybe he does pull a Billy Eichner and says that we suck and we're idiots for not seeing the movie. But he's asking, not blaming, which is positive. I mean, it still looks bad to beg for people to go see your movie, but it's better than blaming people for not seeing your movie, which could still happen because the guy could spiral.
Yeah.
It could happen. This is going to be, right now it's 10.2. Monday it's going to be in the nines.
Are we ready to make that prediction? Because we're doing this on Sunday. When the actual's coming on Monday, Megan 2.0 will be 9.
It'll be 9. It'll be in the nines.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to happen, and that could be when the architect spirals.
That's the architect spiral.
How could you not see this? You loved Megan. You kept telling me she's fierce. I made her fierce.
Yeah.
And you still didn't go.
Now, I will say,
don't do that. Don't spiral. Don't spiral.
I know
is there a future for Megan as a web series? Is that the next step?
You love to go to web series.
I have this weird spidey sense that they're coming back, and is that where Megan ends up as webisodes? Will there be Megan
webisodes?
Megan 3.0 webisodes.
So you think this should go to Atom Films? You think this should be a Flash animation series, a la the Critic shorts that they did online after the Critic was canceled, like 10 years after?
Yeah, this is a super deluxe pickup.
Okay,
Megan 3.0, the web series.
I mean, if any of those places still exist, this would be
I'm sure the domains are still owned.
It would be a big get for them.
Yeah.
Like, Megan as an IP would be a huge get for a once shuttered, now trying to restart Flash animation webisode series creation website.
Right. I mean, is there, and I know it's changed ownership, Could this be, I think you know where I'm going to go, is the future of Megan Crackle?
Crackle.
Does Chicken Soup for the Soul say, Blumhouse, let me get this off your hands, this dead Megan IP, this movie opens at 10 million on the Monday actuals, it ended up being 9. Let me, Chicken Soup for the Soul, take this IP from you so I can make it a Crackle original series.
So you're thinking Megan can then go from camp to church camp.
Yes. Megan goes to church in the web series.
Does she become? Does she? Is she born again? Is it?
If
is
that's
it
what
Megan
Chicken Soup for the
born
Soul
again?
wants, Megan born again. Yeah. I could totally see that. Because what else is there for Megan after this opening weekend? It's not going to be a movie. It's not going to be a Peacock original series. I don't think that. I don't think the cock will say, I'll air the movie. But the cock is not going to say, here's some money to make more episodes for the cock. That's not going to happen.
It won't originate on the cock.
No, it's not going to.
It won't start on the cock.
It's not going to be webisodes on the cock. I think the, Blumhouse on Hulu, here's a monthly horror movie timed to some holiday no one's ever heard of. I think that deal's long dead. So I don't think we're going to have a Megan tied to Arbor Day movie on Hulu. I think it is, possibly Megan goes to church and ends up on Crackle.
So, okay, we're talking about Blumhouse's failure, which their track record has been really bad. But
Brett is saying they got to change the name of the company.
And I agree.
Dumbhouse?
Yeah. Scumhouse?
I mean, Scumhouse is a cool name for a horror brand. But if you're going based on their last 2 years' track record, it's Dumbhouse.
What about just fully We Suck?
Okay.
And a smiley face with the tongue out. And it's like cheeky.
Mm-hmm.
Another We Suck movie. So it can sort of be like the Gen X slacker, like, who cares?
Right.
You suck.
Whatever.
Everything's dumb productions.
Oh, everything's dumb. That could work. I think it's like Whatever House.
Yeah. Whatever house is great because it's a house, but whatever.
Whatever. And we make whatever. We make Woman in the Yard. We make Megan 2.0 where instead of a horror movie, now it's an action movie. Whatever.
And then Jason Blum, when he gets asked, why'd you make this movie? Like, whatever. Whatever, next.
Whatever. Yeah, I think that...
Or whatever next could be good, too, because it's like...
Right.
We're just on to the next one. As soon as you see
and then you make a horror movie adaptation of MTV's Next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they get off the bus, someone kills them, next.
Now, so the actual reasons why this movie itself failed.
Yes, which it did.
Spectacularly.
Yeah.
I think it is the thing that I know you were very excited about and you got me excited about was the fact that it's a T2 ripoff.
Yeah.
And I think the fans have been saying, that's not what we want.
Right.
We want horror. We wanted Megan to be the fierce biatch. No offense. I don't use that language. The fans use that language.
Yeah.
That we got in the first one. And now she's good.
Right.
And we've got this other character being bad.
Right.
And we have no sort of affiliation with this new bad character. Like, it should have been...
Who didn't seem cool. I mean...
Yeah. I think they want Megan to be like, I want to be bad, like that song.
Okay.
You know that song from the 2000s?
Whose song is that?
Is that
a You original song?
No. I'm trying.
That's not from your failed pop career.
There are so many people screaming at their listening devices.
They're saying, I want to be bad. Well, is that a Backstreet song?
It's not. You need to stop asking because it's Willa Ford.
Okay.
Willa Ford also
was she a model?
She was a singer,
right?
Songwriter,
right?
Actor. She was in the Friday the 13th reboot.
Oh wow, the Michael Bay Platinum Dune versions.
Yes.
Okay.
So does not get the revitalized respect that some of the 2000 icons are getting, like your Lindsay Lohans and your Paris Hiltons.
There's not an 8-episode like documentary series about Willa Ford.
How we treated her bad?
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's common. And listen, I don't know. I don't know how people treated her. I barely remember. I don't remember the song "I Want to Be Bad."
Okay. Well, you were already checked out.
No, I mean, listen, I was prime listening to the Strokes. I was too busy listening to the Strokes to listen to "I Want to Be."
This is past the Strokes.
Okay, then I was checked out.
Yeah, you were checked out.
So that turning Megan into the hero, on the surface, it makes sense because that's your character that people loved in the first one. So then going forward, you make her the hero. But I guess if you look at horror movies, Freddy never becomes the hero. He just becomes the villain that you root for to kill all the people on the street.
And that is huge because Freddy becomes sort of campy and catty.
Yes.
But he never turns good.
He never turns good, even though he kind of sets the template for Megan. Freddy was fierce.
Yeah.
Freddy was kind of a biatch.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about claws out. Everyone says Megan, she's claws out. Freddy was claws out first.
Claws out.
Yeah. So Freddy was a fierce biatch, but he never turned good.
And they
people loved it.
Turned her good movie 2.
Movie 2, that's the problem.
You know what it reminds me of?
T2?
Well, no. It reminds me of Jack Reacher. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
This might sound like a stretch at first. Jack Reacher, the character, as he's known in the novels. Now, the TV show's a different animal. I'm talking about the movies.
The cruise movies.
The cruise movies. He was a lone wolf who comes and goes, beds women, eats at diners, uses public transit.
Yes.
Buys all his clothes from Salvation Army.
Yep.
And then leaves town and doesn't look back.
Mm-hmm.
Second movie, they give him a sidekick, a female. I don't want to say side. That's rude.
Love interest.
Co-lead. Thank you for saving me, Pat. Even though it's a raw feed, so I said what I said.
Right.
And I made a mistake.
Right.
And I'm sorry.
And I have nothing to do with you.
And I apologize profusely.
Wow.
For that statement that I made.
Okay.
Earlier in the episode.
You've learned and grown.
I've grown so much since I said that less than a minute ago.
Yeah.
And then a child is also thrown into the mix. So this lone wolf who had nobody, doesn't need anybody. In the second movie, they give him everybody.
Yes.
And I
Full
think
family.
that was a mistake. That's fourth movie, fifth movie.
Yes.
Like Rocky didn't have the son angle really until the fifth movie. Where
the kid's a baby in the earlier movies.
Yeah, but he's never around him.
No.
He's
training. He looks in the nursery, oh, he's alive, and then you move on. Yeah.
And so that's what I think happened with me is they jumped to this. They forgot why people liked it in the first place.
Right.
And Blumhouse did the same thing with Happy Death Day. I mean, they turned that into a sci-fi movie.
Yes.
People just wanted a horror movie with that amazing lead actor that I'm trying to think of the name, and I will look the name up.
That we thought should have been a big star, and she turned out to not be a big
great.
star. I mean, she might be on like season 9 of Scorpion or Blue Bloods for all we know, but she didn't become a movie star.
And the juice was in her. Right? So
they're
Jessica Roth.
Jessica Roth should have been a big star. They've now screwed up another one, and I know you said the last episode this is infallible because it's video game IP, but we're talking Dumbhouse. We're talking Whatever Man Films. We're talking
We Suck
Films. They've got Five Nights at Freddy's. I was so close to saying Freddy got fingered. I wanted to say it, but I didn't.
You wanted to say it. And you got to say it.
I got to say it anyway.
Yeah.
They've got Five Nights at Freddy's, the sequel, coming out this fall. Is there any way that they screw this up? I mean, could they turn it into a sitcom?
Yeah.
Is this going to be an effing, and I'm not going to blow it now.
Don't blow it.
Is this going to be an effing sitcom sequel where they say the original was a horror movie, video game adaptation, and then for the sequel, we're changing genres, and now it's a sitcom. And now Freddie Fazbear is a wacky dad.
Oh, my gosh. I mean...
Sitting on a couch, not, he doesn't want to have sex with his wife. Mm-hmm. And that's the show, which is a movie.
So, last episode I said... No way. I basically told you to shut up.
Yes.
In not so many words.
Yes. Because you knew better.
I didn't say it, but I said it without saying it.
Yes.
Because I was just cutting you off and not letting you talk, which
yes.
is basically like telling you shut up.
Exactly.
And as the audience has seen, I can grow so quickly mm-hmm. as I did this episode mm-hmm. between one sentence to another, that from one episode to the next, I've grown so much.
Wow.
That now I am scared. I am scared for Freddy. I was going to do it.
You were going to say Freddy got fingered.
Yeah. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
I am scared now.
Oh.
I wouldn't say that's growth, but that is a change of mindset, which intelligent people can have and do often in their lives, change their mind.
Yes, yes. And after this weekend, after Megan 2.0 opening to 10 million, probably 9 when the actuals come in, anything is on the table for how Blumhouse could screw up these franchises. I do not think Freddy Fazbear is safe anymore.
Did you ever...
It could be a romantic drama, the second one. They may say, oh, the architect of this series has a great idea. Instead of it being a horror movie aimed at young people, it's going to be now a romantic drama aimed at elder millennials, starring Freddy Fazbear.
Well, or they could make Megan an oldster, and then she's part of a book club. So then they get Candy Bergen, they get Diane Keaton.
Megan's dead.
Yeah,
Megan at best is webisodes on Crackle.
Yeah,
it is. Megan goes to church. She's reformed. She's evangelizing the Bible.
Yeah,
on Chicken Soup for the Soul's Crackle.
Yeah.
But Freddy Fazbear should be a giant new star. This should be movie 2 of what's going to run for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And with Blumhouse now, I do not think anyone could have faith that they are going to be able to land the plane on that sequel.
So we do have to get to F1, and I know we're very excited because we have a fan on, and it's cool in here, so we could talk forever.
Yes.
And I think that's really, really made us very, very excited that we're not sweating.
Yeah.
But did you imagine at the beginning of the summer that Megan
mm-hmm.
would be outside the gates of Hollywood?
Oh.
Standing next to
no.
Lyle Crocodile.
Oh.
And you know who I'm going to say next?
Chauncey?
Chauncey the bear. So she's holding hands with Chauncey the bear.
Chauncey
from Imaginary.
But I mean, Chauncey's a never was. Lyle Crocodile was a never was.
Doesn't matter.
Megan is outside the gates of Hollywood hanging out with Chauncey the bear from Imaginary.
That's how fast it happens.
Oh.
That's how fast it happens, Pat.
Oh, my God. I mean,
she's like, how did I get here?
Is that the future of Megan? Sort of a Hollywood satire web series. I mean, this is a web series if there ever was one.
You love pitching web series.
I feel like that's the level that Megan is going to be at, is like a web series about dead IP
mm-hmm.
hanging out outside the gates of Hollywood, trying to get back in.
So sort of like how Dickie Roberts was about failed stars, and then he was playing poker with all the brothers or whatever. Or no, that was different. He was playing poker with all the failed child stars, right?
Okay. Was he with like Danny Bonaducci?
He was with the Dooch.
Yeah. I haven't even seen that movie, but I knew it was going to be Danny Bonaducci.
Yeah, and she can be playing poker with Chauncey.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
Chauncey and Lyle Crocodile. Oh, my God.
And I think, and this is a subject that we haven't really talked about this previously, but I mean, it is Pride Month, and Megan was a movie that had a lot of interest from the gay community.
Okay.
And they did not show up for this sequel either, because I think the fun camp value of Megan sort of wore out.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, who knows who showed up for this movie?
Yeah.
It made $10 million. I think this was one, too, where people just didn't want to be attached to the stink of a loser. And in the days leading up to this, it felt like Megan was going to be a loser, and no one wanted to hang out with her. Who knows if Chauncey the Bear and Lala Crocodile, they've been outside the gates of Hollywood together for a while now. Megan might show up kind of with an attitude because, like, Megan had a big first movie.
Yeah.
And Chauncey the Bear and Lala Crocodile might be like,
tone it down.
Yeah. You know, we've got our thing going on.
Yeah.
I think it's a good web series. So
let's talk about something that cannot be contained in a web series.
No. Has to be on the biggest screen. We saw it on the biggest screen possible.
We saw it on the biggest screen possible.
F1. When you did your plow and you said number 1, F1 the movie, I have seen it listed that way in several places. Is the official title of this F1 the movie? Is this a Hot Dog the movie situation?
I think because, as with Hot Dog the movie, there's the product, which is F1.
Right.
And then there's the movie of the product.
Okay.
So you don't want that to be confused. You don't want people to say, I went to see F1 in the theater, and they'll say, which race? Right. You want to say, no, F1 the movie with Brad Pitt. And then they're like, oh, I went and saw a hot dog. I went to see Hot Dog. And they were like, oh, the meat.
You were at a supermarket.
And you're like, no, I went to the movies.
Got it. Okay.
To see Hot Dog.
So it's not its official title is still though F1, but it's maybe in day-to-day conversation it might behoove people to say F1 the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't even need the colon, but they can definitely say F1 the movie.
Okay.
And they don't have to say it at the same volume. Like F1 the movie. If you want to.
That'll suffice.
The movie. Yeah.
So this is at 55. I had predicted 59.
I mean,
do we think in the Monday actuals it's up a few ticks? Probably doesn't get to 59, but this could be 56, 57 maybe on Monday. Or?
I don't know, because it didn't really move. It was 55 on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
So I don't think the Sunday AM came in. So I think it's probably going to be around 55 point something.
Yeah.
Which is great. And as Anthony Diaz for calling us dummies said in his write-up, why didn't this keep moving up over the weekend?
Let me find that section, because we do have to be accurate on this one, because he is once again calling us dummies.
Yeah.
So let's see. So this did come in on the high end of the tracking. I mean, this movie was tracking 45 to 55, and it came in at 55. Yeah, I am looking for it. I mean, it was a huge write-up here. Okay, I've got it. So this is for Anthony D. is for calling us dummies, D. Alessandro, and his must-read Sunday write-up.
Must read.
He says, for those cynics wondering why F1 didn't move the odometer past its already over-indexed 55 million, we're in a 10-day holiday stretch, dummies. So that's the quote. I mean, once again, he set out a rhetorical question that he says people are asking.
Yes.
And then he gives an answer and calls the people who he pretends was asking this question dummies.
Listen, you got to love them.
You got to love them.
And I got to say, the one dummy was one thing.
Uh-huh.
The second dummy, he listens. I think he listens.
Is that why he said it again?
I think so. I think
because we called him out on he called his readers dummies. I forget what movie it was, but a month or two ago, and we've been harping on it.
We've been giving him the business in a fun way.
Oh, as colleagues, of course.
Colleagues, and I think that was a wink. That was an pulling the earlobe for us, I think.
You think that was for the BO boys? For that one in his article now, he is putting Easter eggs in for the wanna BO boys, wanna BO girls, wanna BO people. Is he? But he's not calling them dummies. He's saying, "Look at how I called the readers dummies again."
Yeah,
and you guys get it,
and we get it, and I think
you don't think this is like a shift, because I went back and forth with the great podcast Jesus Kirk Minahan, who I'm sure is not talking to you because of the horrible things you've done to him. But I sent him this screenshot of that dummies phrase, and he said he's feisty, talking about Anthony Diaz for calling us dummies.
So this is just a general feistiness coming out.
It might be. It might be Anthony D. Is he looking to sort of change the image of he's not just some scribe who gives you numbers, but he's a guy who mixes it up.
Megan One type.
Biatch.
Well, I didn't say it. You did.
But in the good way. But in the way that he's feisty, he's fierce.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like it.
This is the future right here. I'm pointing at the microphone. I'm waving at the camera. Hey, guys, we're YouTubers.
I'm waving, too.
Is Anthony looking to be a personality to get a morning drive time, show?
I'd love it. I mean,
does he want to get on the radio?
Soft launch on our show. Come on our show.
Yeah.
We would love that.
Oh, we'd love to have him here. And we're first topic. If Anthony D is for calling us dummies, D'Alessandro, first topic on the BO Boys as a guest. What's with the calling us dummies? And we're getting right into that.
Yeah, and he'll love it.
He'll love it. He'll love it. That's what he wants.
Because he'll say, these are my people.
Yes.
They get it.
So he does make an interesting point there. Obviously, high end of the tracking, $55 million. There's a huge opening weekend for F1, a movie that a month ago people thought would be finishing below Megan.
Yeah.
And now he's saying to the people who are asking the rhetorical question, why not more? He's saying we're basically in a sort of Christmas corridor week.
It's true.
4th of July is Friday. A lot of people get off the Thursday and Friday, which means the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, people are going to be checked out. So this is almost like the summertime Christmas. From now through next Sunday, it's like not a weekend day every day because people have to go through the motion of going to work Monday, Tuesday, but a lot more people are going to be going to see movies during the day these next 7 days.
Yeah, and I think that he's completely correct in this.
Okay.
And
the dummies are wrong.
The dummies are definitely wrong. He's in the 2 times he's called us in the readers dummies.
Yeah.
He's been correct in when he projects a thought process on us that we are being dumb.
Yes. When he creates a fake question that is very stupid, he then has the correct answer to that question he made up. He attributes to the dummies that read him.
He doesn't say, great question.
Right.
Because it's not a great question.
Right.
It's a dumb question.
Yes. So that's why dummies.
Yeah, that's why dummies. And so I agree with him. We saw this Friday night. Packed.
Yes.
Full. We had to sit in the second row. Something that Anthony D for calling us dummies a second time, D'Alessandro, said would have been a bad seat.
Right.
I thought our seats were really... I mean, I think in the best theater in the world, in the best city in the world that we go to, the second row is still great.
Yes, but that's AMC Lincoln.
Yeah.
That is the premier theater in the world.
Yes.
So second row in some podunk, and I say podunk with love, podunk theater in a podunk town.
But he's talking IMAX. We're talking specifically IMAX.
IMAX. Yeah. People want to see it. Listen, I haven't been to IMAXs in these podunk towns.
The screen could be closer.
The screen could be closer. I mean, this is AMC Lincoln. Yeah. This is the tippy top of the theatrical experience. So second row in a podunk town, again, said with love, that could be a bad experience there.
And so that's the thing is that I agree that people want to see this in IMAXs. Warner Bros. And Crapple TV Plus were smart in getting those IMAXs for 2 weekends through this summer Christmas corridor.
Yes.
And so that is the reason this thing over-indexed, and it's going to continue. These days are going to be insane.
Oh.
Because I think this is a movie, unlike some of the other movies out right now. You do need to see it in at least, I wouldn't even say Dolby. Like Dolby wouldn't probably do it justice, but if it comes in a pinch,
Dolby's great.
But it's not IMAX.
No, it's on IMAX.
Dolby's just louder.
Well, you have to see it in a movie theater.
You definitely.
This is not a wait for streamo situation.
Yeah.
This is, and I think people are going to say that to the loved ones in their lives. They're going to say, F1 is the reason why you have to leave the house.
Yes.
You have, and some people can't. Fine.
Yeah.
But if you can, this is the reason why you're getting out of the house and you're seeing this theater. You are not waiting for this to go to Crapple TV Plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that kind of movie. And yeah, ideally you're seeing this on a premium format.
And I agree. Yeah, people are going to wait for the best seats.
Yes. Yeah. It's the day-by-days. And we are going to have to cover, we don't always cover the day-by-days on this show, but for F1 this week, we are going to have to cover these day-by-days.
Yeah.
And say day-by-day multiple times an episode. Have to.
And I'm not a critic, but this movie is what I wanted from a popcorn movie in 2025.
Yes.
It was so fun.
Yep.
It had a major star as the lead.
Mm-hmm.
It had an up-and-comer who played his teammate.
Yes. Yes.
Doing a great job.
Yep.
And the racing, you did feel like you were in there with them.
Here's the thing. I famously, lifelong New Yorker, I do not drive.
So you don't even really know what that feels like.
Well, I was going to say, now I know. And listen, I've been in the back of many cabs.
Of course.
Which I do feel like that's what, seeing F1 in IMAX, that's what it brought me back to, is being in the back seat of a New York City cab.
Yeah.
And just that speed, just
the recklessness.
Hitting those curves. Just, is this going to be when I flip over? You know, is there someone ready with a fire extinguisher to put me out at the end of this drive? That's what it brought me back to. And I love that. I love that feeling. I love getting in a yellow cab and just, all right, this could be it. Strap in. I hope we win this thing. But if we flip over 40 times, I'm prepared for that.
Mm-hmm.
And F1 and IMAX gave me that rush.
Yeah.
And now I think the rest of the country gets to experience that rush of being in the back seat of a New York City yellow cab.
Yeah.
So yeah, as a non-driver, I loved it. This is great. And now it's like, I don't have to drive. I'll just see F1 again.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll
it's not inspiring me to get a license. No.
Okay.
No.
Well, because the thing too is that you'll never
go to IMAX again.
And you'll never drive as well as Brad Pitt does. So why even attempt it?
Exactly. The bar has been set.
Yeah.
Is this, can we say it, is this the movie that has officially gotten the long ballyhooed Maverick Bump? Joseph Kosinski, director of Maverick. He had a Netflix movie that no one cared about in between, but he directed F1 the movie. Cruise didn't get the Maverick Bump for either of those Mission Impossible movies. Did Kosinski and F1 get the Maverick Bump?
I feel like if there ever was going to be a Maverick Bump, this is the one. Now, again, Maverick opened so much bigger than this, and we get that, but it had no competition. It was a time where we were starved. It was a movie that it's sequel to a movie that everybody has seen.
Yeah, save the movie industry.
Starring one of the biggest movie stars of all time. All this put together made it what it was.
Yeah.
But if this movie is not directed by the Maverick director, it's not shot in a way that would make you think of Maverick. If it doesn't have a star as big as Brad Pitt, who is not Tom Cruise level, but as close as you can get now at this point.
If this movie was directed by Sean Levy, director of Free Guy, which was a hit in the summer of 2021, but if Sean Levy...
I'm getting nauseous, Pat.
I got to finish this. I got it. And if you unscrew your bottle there, and if you're going to spew into that.
Okay. Give me a second. Ooh.
If Sean Levy, instead of Joseph Kosinski, was the director of F1 the movie.
Oh, don't say it.
What is this open to?
Okay, I thought you were going to put a star in it. You're going to put a different star in it.
Oh, okay. So, I mean... Well, I'm trying to focus on the Maverick Bump.
Okay.
But I mean, now let's see if I can make you spew. Instead of Joseph Kosinski, Sean Levy's the director of F1. Instead of Brad Pitt, it stars Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Yeah.
I just got to lean over.
Yeah. Just focus on the floor. I know you're dizzy. I know you're nauseous, but I had to finish that sentence. Sean Levy, Ryan Reynolds. That's your F1 the movie team.
Don't keep saying it.
So let's take Ryan Reynolds out of it. Let's take him out of it. He's busy buying soccer teams with Robbie Mack. Have you heard that Rob McElhaney of Always Sunny?
Don't. I'm so close to spewing.
This might make you spew. He's officially legally changed his name to Rob Mack at the behest of Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. I think it's cell phone company related. So let's just say Ryan Reynolds, he's busy buying scam cell phones with Rob Mack. It's just Sean Levy directs this instead of Joseph Kosinski.
Okay, sorry, hold on.
That's where the Maverick Bump is I think another just Hollywood steady hand hack director. That movie opens to 25 or 30, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the fact that from the director of Maverick.
Well, I don't even think it goes theatrical. Like, I think then that's Apple.
That's Crapple TV Plus.
Like,
yeah.
Crapple TV Plus exclusive.
Yeah. It's like
that's Wolf.
It's on a tile right next to season 11 of Slow Horses.
Yes.
Which somehow in a day and age when TV seasons are 3 years apart, that Slow Horses show I think has a dozen seasons since I think it only came out like February of 2024, and it's on season 12.
Well, they did it like how, remember when they shot 100 of those episodes for
Anger
syndication,
Management.
For Anger Management.
And
then
Are We There Yet?
Yeah, Tyler Perry did that.
Yeah. They did that with Slow Horses. They shot 100 of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Just put them all, Oscar winner, what's his name? He played Truman in Oppenheimer.
Gary Oldman.
They just had Gary Oldman in the TV studio and just knocked out 100 episodes of Slow Horses.
Yeah.
That's where a Sean Levy directed version of F1 would have been, on a tile in between Slow Horses seasons.
Yes. I think that Joseph Kosinski is a great director for what he does.
Yes.
And there's not a lot of people like him.
Mm-hmm.
Truly.
Mm-hmm.
There's just not anymore. There's just not. I mean, you have your auteur directors who've been doing it forever.
Yep.
That make great work. And you can always say, like, there's a few that really haven't made a bad looking movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's been movies that maybe aren't as interesting to people as others. But I don't know if you could say Scorsese's made like a bad looking movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think Kosinski's the guy who, if you want to make a popcorn movie, you get him.
Yeah.
Like, you want to make a great popcorn movie, you get him.
He's a movie star director. His thing now, and I do wonder if he changes it up, but I say just go with it. You get a movie star and you put him in a vehicle.
An actual vehicle.
An actual vehicle with a steering wheel.
Yes.
And that is Joseph Kosinski. I mean, right now, they've got to be looking at vehicles for Matthew McConaughey that you put him in a sidecar or something, and it's directed by Joseph Kosinski. And
he does have the bus movie, though. He has the last bus movie, which is Green Grass.
Well, let's just talk about that real quick, because this is
great for that movie.
So this is Crapple TV Plus, which has been taking it on the chin the last few years with Argyle and their theatrical releases. I mean, Kills of the Flower Moon cost a lot. It made what it made. Napoleon, I guess, underperformed.
Fly to the Moon.
I mean, Fly Me to the Moon, that's the one that killed the Crapple TV Plus in theaters experiment.
Yeah.
Wolves with an F. And now they got F1. Huge theatrical hit. They're making real money at the theaters. It's going to have legs. The day-by-days are going to be incredible.
Yeah.
They've got a couple movies in the can. They got the Spike Lee Denzel Washington movie, and
which
they've got
is not planned for a theatrical release other than limited.
It's not. And then the same thing with this Lost Bus, Matthew McConaughey, America Ferrera, coming off an Oscar nomination.
Oscar nominated.
Directed by Paul Greengrass, right now, from what I've heard, that is limited theatrical, and then it's on the service. Put that effing here. I'm going to use it now. Put the fucking Lost Bus in full theatrical release. I used it there, and I think I used it appropriately.
Wow, I almost feel like I was going to get slapped after that.
If our chairs were closer, because I know on the YouTube screen it looks like we're right next to each other.
Not.
In here, we're far enough apart that if I can't slap him. I can't. It
would happen so much more often if you could.
Yes.
That's how you know that we're not right next to each other.
Yes. If we were closer, if we were as close in real life as we look on the YouTube screen, pop, pop, pop.
Yeah,
just slap after slap. And I would have slapped you there.
Yeah.
I would have slapped you there because I was feeling it. But put it in movie theaters. You just had a huge hit with a star from the 90s in Brad Pitt. In a vehicle, in a physical vehicle where he's got a steering wheel.
Yeah.
People want to see these movie stars with their hand on a steering wheel, and you've got a movie.
Yeah.
Called The Lost Bus.
Yeah.
What does every bus have?
Steering wheel.
A steering wheel.
Yeah.
You got a movie where Matthew McConaughey, the audiences know that Matthew McConaughey is going to have his GD hand on a steering wheel. It takes place in a fire. There's a fire, a bus that is in a fire, and you got a movie star who's got his hand on a steering wheel. You got an actress who's coming off an Oscar nomination in the biggest movie of the year from 2 years ago. Get that movie in full 4,000 screen theatrical release.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is to me, coming out of F1, that has got to be one of the biggest stories is a Denzel Washington movie. Even doesn't matter. He doesn't have a vehicle. He doesn't have a steering wheel. It's Denzel Washington. He's in movie theaters.
Yeah.
Spike Lee, when he's got Denzel Washington, definitely should be.
Yes,
I mean, Spike Lee should always be in movie theaters, but Spike and Denzel,
yes,
that's movie theater.
Yeah, yeah.
And Matthew McConaughey's going to have a steering wheel. He's going to be driving a bus. You have F1. It's going to be one of the biggest movies of the summer. How do you not say vehicle movie? This goes into full theatrical release. How is that possible?
I mean, Pat, because we've seen it with so many studios. They're dumb. They take the wrong message from success.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They won't make that connection. I mean, they'll watch this show and make that connection and claim to have made that connection. But they haven't made that connection until you said it.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. We are YouTubers. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
In the comments, but in the real world, and you go on the internet and you find contact information, email information, find people and be polite about it. Be nice. This is not a, slam. This is a politely go out there and advocate for The Lost Bus, a movie with a steering wheel and a movie star, to be put in theatrical release. And if F1 had opened to $22 million this weekend and looked like it was going to be a huge underperformer, then I would say, you know what? They're doing what they got to do. People don't want movie stars and steering wheels on the big screen. But that is not the case. Mm-hmm. After this F1 opening weekend, the wannabe boys, wannabe girls, wannabe people, they got to get out there and demand that movie is put in real theaters, not just 5 theaters for Oscar qualifying and then it's on the service. Full theatrical release.
Yeah. And it's impossible until it happens.
Exactly. We cannot just put our hands up in defeat now. Mm-hmm. Not after this F1 opening weekend.
No.
Now we got a chance of getting these Crapple TV Plus movies in theaters, especially ones with movie stars sitting in a little driver's seat, putting their hand on a steering wheel.
Yeah. And then maybe you ask Spike, you say, Spike, I know this is your vision and this is, a movie that you've worked on. It's a remake. So there is like a plot that you're following. Mm-hmm. Is there any way? Mm-hmm. I see a lot of scenes with Denzel on the New York City subway. Is there any way you can get him behind the wheel of the subway car just for a scene. Just
Right.
for one scene, do a pickup. He's in a fantasy sequence. He's sleeping.
Yep.
He's driving the F train, and then he sits up.
Right.
What was that about?
Here's the thing. You don't even have to film anything else to make that happen. What you do is you license some footage from that remake Denzel made of the taking of Pelham 123. Remember that one with Denzel and John Travolta? Wasn't Denzel the guy driving the subway train?
No, I
in that
think
movie?
you're thinking of Unstoppable, where he drove an actual train.
There's that.
But I think wasn't he in the control room?
No, I think he was on the train.
Who was in the control room then?
Not Denzel. Denzel would be on the train. Why wouldn't they're not gonna keep Denzel and John Travolta that far apart, are they? I'm sure at some point Denzel was driving that subway train. I saw that movie in theaters.
Okay, so I believe you.
Now you've got multiple movies where Denzel is driving a train.
Yeah.
Because even in Unstoppable, you're getting close enough and you don't realize he's on a train, like an Amtrak train. You could fake it for a subway train. There's definitely footage of Denzel that you could splice into highest and lowest to make it seem like he's driving a train. His character's driving.
I'm seeing some images where he is in the control room.
Yes, he's
of Pelham.
Yeah, he's the guy driving he's the conductor of the train.
No, he's around a bunch of computers talking to people.
Okay.
So he's not the driver of the train.
So they may then have to film, but I think if you go through Denzel's career, you could find footage of this guy driving a subway train that you could splice into this movie.
Yeah. I mean, after all that, yes.
Yes. Definitely needed to be corrected there for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely needed that.
Well, for accuracy, listen, I'm
Definitely
saving
needed.
you.
Definitely needed
because
that, for sure.
the people were screaming at their listening devices.
That's
the same thing.
They were then. I'm sure they're not now.
They had no clue when you were like,
then,
I've never heard that Willa Ford song. They were screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Screaming.
What was it called? Bubba Baby? What was it?
I Want to Be Bad.
I Want to Be Bad. Yeah. Everyone remembers
2001's I Want to Be Bad. So I think Crapple TV Plus has to take this momentum, this actual physical momentum that this movie has created, and take and run with it.
Yeah.
And it's not because this isn't over.
No.
They still need to do more work.
Yes.
This is one victory.
Yes.
One victory is great, and we can be happy about it.
But that is not a theatrical studio make. And Apple should be focusing on the phones, because that's 99% of where all their money comes from.
Yeah.
But in terms of this worthless diversion that is them having a movie division, they should be focusing on being a theatrical studio.
Absolutely.
That releases movies into movie theaters.
Yes. And, this is a non-IP, although, of course, it is a racing
it's a real world thing.
It's a real world thing that they then made into
a movie.
Yeah.
But it's not a video game. It's not an existing character.
Superhero. Yeah.
I mean, Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Huge win for Brad Pitt.
Yes.
You look at his run the last few years. It's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, big hit, 2019, Oscar. Wins the Oscar, takes time off. Extended cameo in Lost City, which was a hit.
Yes.
$100 million domestic, or right around that. No, it did get over $100 million domestic.
It did. It hit it.
Bullet Train got to 100 domestic, opened at 30. You may not like that style of movie, but people went to go see that.
Yep.
And then he does Wolves, which was Crapple TV Plus TV show, no real box office.
No one's holding that against him.
Yeah. And now F1's it. People still want to go see this guy.
Yeah.
People want to go see him.
It's amazing. I mean, we can have the conversation about who's going to replace these old stars, but at the moment, they're holding up. So yes. I don't think we need to talk too much about that. That seems to be what everybody starts talking about as soon as Brad Pitt had another hit, Tom Cruise has a hit, George Clooney does fine at the box office with something. It's all like
doing well on Broadway.
Yeah, but who's going to replace? And it's like, listen, if they don't need replaced, why talk about that? If you can get another 15 years out of Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, let's take it.
And the point of F1 was almost Brad Pitt saying, I ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Look at me. A lot of sort of, he's showing a lot of arm in this movie. He's ogled a lot.
Yes.
He is ogled a lot by multiple people in this movie.
Yes.
Carrie Condon, Oscar nominee for Banshees of Inisherin. This is sort of her big cash in from that Oscar nom. I know she was in Night Swim. She's been in more Hollywood movies since then, but this is the big one.
Yeah.
Was her being the co-lead in F1.
She's great in this.
She's great in this. She ogles in a way that only an Oscar-nominated actor could ogle. And that is her role here, is to do a lot of ogling of Brad Pitt, and I loved the way she ogled in this movie.
But can we say that I think there is ogling, and I'm not going to deny that there is not a woman ogling a star in this movie. But I'll say we have come so far from 1994, where Julia Roberts and Nick Nolte are in a movie called I Love Trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And she has to look at his bottom.
Yes.
Through a door in the bathroom.
Yep.
And act as if it's the best bum she's ever seen.
She had to lick her lips.
She had to smile and be like, not bad. I like this.
She had to do that famous made her movie star Julia Roberts smile when she saw Nick Nolte's rumpled, naked, saggy bottom.
Bear took us. And at least now, we can all say, okay, here's a guy who should be getting ogled.
Yes.
Ogled.
Yes.
But however you want to say it.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to say it the correct way, you can say it the correct way. If you want to say it the wrong way, then you can say it like me.
Mm-hmm.
But that, I think, is progress.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It was way more believable for Carrie Condon to do ogling in this movie than it was for Julia Roberts to ogle Nick Nolte in I Love Trouble. Mm-hmm. It's a huge generational step up, for sure.
And it only took 30 years.
Yes. So I just want to see the age difference, because, listen, age is just a number, but...
well, I wouldn't say that, but I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
And I didn't say that.
And I didn't say that either. I didn't say that.
Have you grown since you said that?
I have grown since I said that.
Okay, good.
So,
but you've grown as a person. You've grown as a person.
I've grown as a person.
Okay.
So Julia Roberts was a 27-year age difference with a Nick Nolte.
Yeah.
Carrie Condon and Brad Pitt, 19-year age difference.
There we go. Progress.
So there
you go.
Progress. Yeah. And this movie really does set up Brad Pitt to continue to just be the guy who's going to be a movie star for the next 10, 15, advances in science, 30, 40 years. Who knows? And chicken and broccoli.
Listen,
he's not on the Kumail chicken and broccoli diet.
No. Look at this guy's all natural.
Yeah. Yeah, he's all natural. He's not injecting chicken and broccoli.
No.
So,
he's far, 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 far from ever. Decades ago was the last time he had any chance of being outside the fence with Chauncey and all them.
And Megan? Oh, my God, no.
None of these stars, no matter how far... Like, Travolta will never be outside the fence.
No, he's never going to have to hang out with Chauncey the Bear and Megan. No, of course not.
But you have to, as a star... You want to stay so far away from that fence.
Right.
That fence does not even exist for you.
Taylor Kitsch is hanging out with Chauncey the Bear, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've become very close.
Yeah.
But I think that is the goal with your stardom, is that you want to get as far away from that fence as possible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brad Pitt is, again... just at the top of his game.
And he's a forever star, too.
He's a forever star. And, Joseph Kosinski, it's time to get another star inside another vehicle. Bradley Cooper, is that a guy, and he doesn't need it. I think Bradley Cooper, it's always hard to tell where he's at because the last movie was directing for streaming. He's doing a comedy written by Will Arnett. Is that what's happening?
He is doing a comedy that is going to star a cell phone company owner now.
Yes.
That's what he's primarily known as. And
you got to get on and owning a cell phone company.
And
if you're an actor.
I fear, listen, Bradley Cooper has had much success, Oscar nominated several times.
Mm-hmm.
A project like this,
mm-hmm.
and he's a loyal guy.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes loyalty can be stupidity.
What is he loyal to Will Arnett for?
They're just buds. They came up together.
Okay.
They were like friends back in the day.
Okay.
And it gets Cooper closer to the fence than he should be.
But Will Arnett is not at the fence. Whatever you think of Will Arnett.
No, but a failure. He's not.
I mean,
nobody's going to see a movie. Nobody goes to the theater to see Will Arnett. If Will Arnett shows up in a movie that I go see, I'm angry because I wasn't warned.
He was good in that Ninja Turtles movie.
Dude, that was a decade ago. That was a decade ago.
Dude. You like that movie?
I did. A decade ago, Pat. We're talking a decade ago.
Will Arnett, and this is a sidetrack to talk about this future Bradley Cooper directed movie with Will Arnett.
We're in the pit right now.
Yeah.
They're changing the tires.
Exactly. We're going to try and be quick. We're going to try and be quick to get back in the race.
Make it very quick. Your defense of Will Arnett. Make your defense of Will Arnett as a movie star.
This is the most popular he's been in years because of the Smart Lists podcast and the cell phone company. This is the launch of the cell phone company plus his Smart List podcast. If you're going to make a movie starring Will Arnett, I guess this is the week for it.
Wow.
I guess this is the week for it.
This is such a bad opinion.
But Bradley Cooper, I mean, now, does he need to be the lead in a Joseph Kosinski?
Put him on behind the wheel of a fan boat, yes. Bayou fan boat.
That is the way to go because he's done air, he's done land. Next is vehicle and water.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley Cooper driving a fan boat.
Yeah, or speedboat.
Yeah.
Like, has there been a regatta movie?
Is Speed 2 Cruise Control sort of something that still lingers in terms of...
No, because that's like a huge cruise ship. I'm talking speedboat.
Yeah. Yeah, get Bradley Cooper in a fast boat or jet skis. Is it a jet ski movie? Bradley Cooper in a Joseph Kosinski directed jet ski movie. Is that big IMAX summer release?
We gotta do some research into what is the most popular boat-based league. Because I do think you still need to have something that exists in the world that you can then play with. Like, I don't know if you invent...
Because Maverick was a division of the armed forces.
Yeah.
And obviously F1 is a
popular
real
racing
sport.
sport.
So you either need a speedboat division of the Navy or some kind of popular speedboat racing league to do a movie on.
Yeah.
Or jet skis or I mean, is it a jet ski company? Is it the Yamaha the movie?
Yamaha the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Listen, we're Joseph Kosinski can figure all that out.
Yeah. I do just real quick because we brought up Yamaha and this is such a big episode. Very quickly, and I got to find it. This F1 had incredible brand partnerships in here.
I mean, while you're looking that up, they didn't even need to do any outside of the movie brand partnerships, which I'm sure they did because all of these logos. We were sitting in IMAX, second row.
Yes.
And Pat is salivating over the outfits they're wearing with Geico.
Oh, the Geico logo. I love that the Geico logo was so prominent.
In almost every shot.
Every shot, including the big emotional climax to the movie. You got a Geico logo right on the jacket while he's having a heart-to-heart with
Carrie Condon.
Carrie Condon as she's ogling.
She might as well have had the gecko on her shoulder.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Or
the cavemen.
The caveman could have been standing behind her in a row.
Yes, get Nick Kroll in the makeup again and get him in F1 the movie. Because, I mean, if Geico said that that's what they want,
Yeah.
That's probably what would have happened.
We're now Expensify users,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is that what the company was? Expensify?
Was there Arby's or any well,
there was a this is not in the movie because
yeah.
like Brad Pitt doesn't drive up in his F1 car to Kentucky Fried Chicken. There was a tie-in. There was a Kentucky Fried Chicken meal.
Yeah.
And I'll say, I do think we need, you know how they do the ranking videos that the kids love?
Oh, like S tier brand partner?
I do think we need to do a web exclusive.
I love it.
Of brand partnerships for fast food. Because we do talk about it on the show, but I think we need to put our money where our mouth is and really do this ranking.
Yes.
Because I think that, you know, KFC, I think is a great partnership for this film.
Yeah, good. I'm so happy to see KFC get in the race.
Yeah.
To get in there with such a big overperforming movie.
Yeah.
And this is great for KFC. Here's what I love about the KFC brand partnership with F1.
Okay.
It's the type of brand partnership that I think plays to the heartland.
Yes.
People love the C, which you're not allowed to say what any of those letters stand for. But people love a big bucket of C.
Yes.
The C in KFC, which again, you cannot say the word. Legally, you can't. That is a heartland food, a bucket of C. And that is a big reason I think why F1 overperformed this weekend is it played really well in the West and the South, according to Anthony Diaz for Calling Us Dummies, D'Alessandro. And I think a brand partnership with KFC is the type of thing that helps, that says to people all over the country, this is a movie for you. This is a movie for you. This guy, he's eaten a bucket of C from KFC, and he can still drive a race car, which you love. This is a movie for everyone.
Well, you hit on something there.
Yeah.
Is that it's not always just the prominence of the fast food chain that's important. Mm-hmm. It's the practicality of it.
Yes.
And you could eat a bucket of chicken while driving a car.
Well, do we have to bleep that out?
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. A bucket of C.
A bucket of C from KFC.
You can eat. I will bleep that out.
Yeah.
You will, and I've grown since then, so I apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize profusely for using that term.
I commend you for growing.
Thank you. A bucket of C. You can eat a bucket of C while you're driving. Mm-hmm. You can do that.
Yeah.
It's a
great lap food. Yeah.
Most to all of the food at KFC comes in a container you can eat while driving.
Mm-hmm.
You can't necessarily say that when it comes to your Wendy's, your Taco Bells, your Burger Kings, because you don't have a bathroom in your car. So we'd have a separate bucket that isn't full of C.
Right.
For your Dookie.
Right.
If you were eating a Whopper in a car.
Yeah, Whopper Jr. even.
Yeah. It's like a smaller Dookie, but it's still Dookie.
Yeah.
And it's immediate.
Yeah.
So I think that that is why this is such a great tie-in, is the practicality of it. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, it's practicality. You put a bucket in your lap in a car. You could drive as if Brad Pitt would in the F1 movie with a bucket of C in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great partnership. I mean, Heineken, good, solid, just watery beer that, you could buy a lot of, and people love that, and that's a brand partnership.
Listen, you have to drink so many before you're actually drunk. I'm not going to get into it, but that's why Heineken's good for a driving movie.
Yes. We won't let you connect the dots there, but
and they make a 0 alcohol Heineken.
Oh, well, that you could drive. Yeah. You could drive with that all day, but even a regular Heineken, they wink.
It's barely bare.
Mercedes-Benz, that's a car.
That's a car.
T-Mobile for movie ticketing. So T-Mobile, I guess, had a special deal on buying your F1 tickets if you're a T-Mobile user.
And you know what? Mobile's in the name. What are cars?
Yes.
Cars are mobile.
Cars are automobiles.
Yeah. Automobiles.
And T-Mobile the original car was the T.
The Model T.
The Model T.
And it was
Model T Mobile, F1 the movie. There you go.
Yeah.
That's an incredible brand partnership.
They're knocking it out of the park.
Yeah. That's next level. They partner with iHeartRadio in pushing the Pick soundtrack to markets like Nashville. Again, playing to the whole country, playing to the Stacks, playing to the Earth Dogs, to the Plain Billies by saying we make did you recognize any music like original music?
Well, there's a big
from
Tate
F1?
McRae song.
Okay.
And
Tate McRae, big country artist.
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm not positive of their origin. I think they might be Canadian pop artists.
But newer than Willa Ford.
Yes.
I mean,
they're not as respected as Willa Ford, but definitely more current.
More current. I mean, there you go. It's telling people you could have a bucket of sea on your lap and you listen to Tate McRae and there you go.
So
and drink
Tate McRae,
and have a 6-pack of Heinekens in the car with you too.
Canadian singer, songwriter, and dancer, according to Wikipedia.
Oh wow! Okay,
I'll put activist because I'm sure.
Sure, yeah.
And
influencer,
activist, and
philanthropist. I'm sure. Philanthropist adjacent.
Okay.
Yeah, hangs out with philanthropists.
Yes. By proxy.
Yeah.
Philanthropist by proxy. That song is so most people still assume I'm a lifelong bachelor because I've talked about it as being a lifelong bachelor, but I am currently in a partnership.
Wow.
And
you're in a brand partnership.
I mean, what are relationships other than brand partnerships? Right. Synergy is the most important thing when you're with somebody else, another human being on this planet.
Yes.
It's all about synergy.
You're leveraging each other's IP.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so they currently have that Tate McRae song on a playlist of frequently listened to songs.
Wow.
And it's called that. That's what the playlist is called on Spotify. My frequently listened to songs.
Wow. Okay.
Because why get fancy?
Right.
Why be obtuse? Just say, this is what these are.
Yeah.
Don't put like some cryptic emotional thing or a message to somebody else. Just say, these are the songs I'm listening to at the moment.
And this brand that you're partnered with right now is in a younger demo than we are.
Yes.
Which is a great sign for this movie.
Yes.
Your brand partner is listening to Tate McRae, is in a younger demo than us.
Yeah.
That's the audience that F1 wants because they know they're got the dads. And here's the thing with F1. When we talk about these upcoming days, I think the dads haven't even really come out in force yet.
No.
I think the dads are still to come.
They're revving their engines at the start line.
Yeah. Because I do think dads, they wait to hear, because they don't get a lot of chances to go to the theater.
No.
They got to be picky. And I think the dads are starting to be told, this is the one.
This is great. This is worth it.
Yeah.
This is going to be a lot of dads' first movie since
Maverick?
I do think.
Okay.
I do think.
I mean, listen, I could think of a dad-in-law that in the middle of this movie, is like, I'm taking him to see this.
Yeah.
And he's seen a movie since Maverick, but the movie in between Maverick, one of them was Ferrari, Bomb. But that was a movie, the few people who went to that were dads.
Yes.
And this is Ferrari, except people actually want to go see it, and it's a big hit with an actual big movie star.
And then I know it doesn't have a steering wheel, but it is a vehicle. Boys on the Boat.
Oh, right. That was a My Father-in-Law movie.
Yeah.
Dad movie, overperformer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the dads are on the way.
The
dads are on the way for
star
F1 movie.
vehicles.
Yeah. So God, this is a jam-packed episode. Do we want to briefly touch on either of those news items let's stay on the vehicle mode. Vin Diesel,
let's do this very quickly. And then
Vin Diesel was at I think it was a vehicle-based conference. He was at let's see. He surprised the crowd on Saturday at Fuel Fest in Southern California. So I imagine that's very vehicle focused. Fuel Fest.
Fuel Fest.
So he was at Fuel Fest. Have you ever been to Fuel Fest, Clayton? Have you ever been to Fuel Fest in Southern California?
Not in the past couple years, but pre-COVID, I was there every year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were there just drinking gasoline.
Yes.
Yeah. So diesel,
American gasoline.
Okay. Has to be clear. They had to be pumped in Texas.
Yes.
If you want it right out of the big oil rig in Texas.
Yep.
Pour it straight down your gullet at Fuel Fest. So he was at Fuel Fest and he announced this. He confirmed the film, the final Fast and Furious movie, which will be one more movie. I know he teased before Fast X that was the start of a new trilogy.
Yeah.
But that there will be one more Fast and Furious movies and it will hit theaters in April 2027.
2027.
So that's 2 years from now, which sounds far away, but in movie terms, movies take a year or more to make, so it's not that far from now.
That's true.
April 2027. I haven't heard that announced by the movie studio.
No, this is...
Universal hasn't put that out, but Vin Diesel...
He's going off track a little.
Yeah, at Fuel Fest.
Yeah, at Fuel Fest.
He's
getting a little excited. He was high on the fumes of the gasoline and the diesel.
Yeah.
Not petrol.
Yeah.
Not petrol, gas.
Is that what you think happened here? Do you think this is a real actual announcement or was it a fumes-based fantasy?
How far into the fest are we talking? Because if it's early in the fest, he's probably not as high on the gas.
It's on Saturday. It depends how long this festival is. So Saturday, does that feel like that's day one of Fuel Fest or we're in day two or three?
Probably day two.
But Friday Fuel Fest, if it started on Friday, I feel like that's limited panels. People are getting into town.
Saturday's the meat of, as somebody who's been there.
Yeah.
The meat of the panels are on Saturday.
Yeah.
But by that time, you are high on fumes.
Right. Like, because it's just...
revving and pouring and gassing and everything.
And even in the hotel rooms, everyone's got an engine revving in their hotel room.
Oh,
the lobbies just always has a car in the lobby just revving, motorcycles.
Well, the other
revving.
thing is it's a fun thing to do. It's sort of a gag, having a laugh, taking a piss.
Mm-hmm.
You're siphoning gas from everybody's car into your car, and then they're siphoning out of their car to another car.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like...
It's how you say hello at Fuel Fest.
You've been drinking gasoline all day.
Yeah. So then is this a real announcement? Fast X2, which is what it's being called now, which I think is a terrible idea. I don't know why you want to have this appear to be the direct sequel to one of the least successful movies in the recent franchise.
Yeah.
So Fast X2 doesn't feel like that's the way they should go. But it was a movie that ended on a cliffhanger where all the characters presumably died. So you do have to address that directly.
Well, and then you're sort of even hiding the bigger story is that Brian is going to be back.
He announced, okay, so this is where this really feels like this is a Fuel Fest fumes fantasy situation. Yeah. Vin Diesel confirmed it will take place in Los Angeles, which fine. That makes sense. You don't have to be high on, you don't have to be high on gasoline fumes to say that the next Fast and Furious movie is going to have scenes in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But it's going to reunite Diesel's Dominic Toretto character with Brian O'Connor, the character played by Paul Walker. So he's saying that Paul Walker, who R.I.P., rest in Paul, has been deceased for years. The character, the character's alive. They never killed off the character. The character is
alive,
Brian.
but just doing his own thing.
The actor
can't be bothered. His wife can be.
She shows up for
grave
action
danger.
Scenes, but he's got to watch the baby.
He's hanging out.
But Paul Walker has been passed away since when they filmed Fast 7.
Yes.
And
so around the time when Will Arnett would still be somebody that maybe someone would want to see in the theater.
I mean, he's got the cell phone company now. He's more famous than ever.
And because texts
I'm not saying I'm a fan.
are ticks.
I'm not saying I'm a fan.
Texts are ticks now. Texts are ticks now, according to Pat.
But Paul Walker has not been alive to be in a Fast and Furious movie in 3 movies. He of course was filming 7, but 8, 9, and 10. They've made 3 movies since he passed away. And now Vin Diesel is saying that he will be a co-star of the next movie. I mean,
this is fumes.
This is pure fumes.
This is fueled by fumes. I feel like we're going to get a mea culpa coming down the road when Universal says, hey, Vin.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Right.
Because this is everywhere now.
Yeah.
And now we have to do this.
Yeah. This happened at Fuel Fest, but what happens at Fuel Fest gets out. That's the slogan of Fuel Fest. Whatever happens at Fuel Fest is huge news.
Yes. I mean, it's hard to contain fuel.
Right. Right. And especially in a fest situation.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine Universal is condoning this. No. Right now, are they freaking out? I mean, they got the dynos coming on Thursday night.
They're scrambling.
And they probably we just want to focus on the dynos. Jurassic World Rebirth is happening this weekend.
They have a rebirth happening.
Yeah. And now they got to deal with Vin Diesel high on gasoline fumes, siphoning it from other cars, is out there announcing that Paul Walker will be a co-star of a movie.
Yes.
That is hitting theaters. He gave a release month.
Yeah.
And the studio has not said a GD word.
I know.
Not a peep.
They're figuring it out.
Yeah.
They're waiting for the dynos to come out, and then they're going to figure this out.
Yeah. I mean, do you think the president of Universal Pictures had to head down to Fuel Fest this weekend? Had to pull in there in a limo, back of a limo.
Oh gosh.
And get out into this insanity that is Fuel Fest.
And he's getting booed because limos don't belong there.
No. You've got motorcycles on one of those like fiery loops. Like that's the first thing you see at Fuel Fest is someone just on a fire loop on a motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
Just shooting a shotgun in the air.
Yeah, Roy.
Yeah.
I know that guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was at your bridal party at your first wedding, right?
He was, yeah.
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 Yeah. He's a good guy.
That's a whole story.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's for the Patreon.
Absolutely.
When we start the Patreon.
Yeah.
Your Fuel Fest first marriage days, that's first episode on the Patreons. Wow. Okay, that's huge because we can monetize that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it feels like a problem. Maybe it's real. Maybe Universal signs off on all this and there is a Fast X sequel that is coming out in 2 years and Paul Walker is going to be the co-star somehow. But I feel like this is fumes talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other news that we promised was James Bond talk.
James Bond.
Yes. Denis Villeneuve is directing. He's been announced directing the James Bond movie. Here's what I'll say. And God, this is such huge movie news.
Is it or is it not?
Well, that's what do we care?
I don't care about Bond. I think it's sad that, I think another great sort of blockbuster director, although he could maybe he can make them a little bit funny. Like, I know.
We love Dune too, though.
Javier Bardem was really funny in that movie.
Yeah.
So there is some humor. I just wish it was a little bit more humor involved.
And just quickly, because you just said his name, he's the co-star of F1, and he's great in F1. Javier Bardem.
So great. Yeah.
As the number 2 guy in a blockbuster right now,
so awesome.
He is the way to go.
Yeah.
He is just shows up, looks great, makes some remarks, and just in and out. He's great. He's great in these movies.
So good.
Could he be Bond? Should Javier Bardem be Bond? Could we go with a Spanish older Bond?
Why not? Because list, Pat, of Bonds, of prospective Bonds, is a laughable snorefest.
Wow. Okay. I mean, here's the 3 rumored, which is probably actually the 3 because they're doing I think when you release the names like this, say these are the rumored names, I think the studio now is looking to see what is the online response.
Yes.
Is there now? Let's get the audience to weigh in on this. So the big three that are going to be the next Bond for Denis Villeneuve: Jacob Elordi, who played Elvis in the Elvis movie that was not the Elvis movie that was a big hit.
Yeah.
Though I guess it was a solid indie hit. The what was the name of the Sofia Coppola movie about?
Well, it was about his wife.
Yeah.
Whose name is
Lisa Marie? No, that's his daughter.
That's his daughter.
Who was his wife? I can't think of Elvis Presley's wife's name right now. That was the name of the movie, right?
It was. We're high on fumes.
Yeah. The fumes are leaking in from Fuel Fest. I mean, they finally have reached the other coast. So Jacob Elordi, who was also Priscilla, of course. So Jacob Elordi, he's from Priscilla, Saltburn. Harris Dickinson, who was in Baby Girl, who's the guy who's got the cookie in Baby Girl. And then Tom Holland, who is Spider-Man. That's the one where obviously Tom Holland is the most famous of them. He's been in the biggest blockbusters. Does it feel strange that Tom Holland would go from playing Spider-Man to Bond? Is that almost like a defeatist attitude from Tom Holland, where now he's admitting he could only be IP?
Well, I think we know that now.
But we had high hopes for him after he was the lead.
I don't think we had hopes for him for being a lawyer or like any original IP. I don't think we ever had hopes for him for original IP.
Well, the other thing, Tom Holland, he is
Fosse. Or whatever, right? What's his thing? No, he's not Fosse.
Well, he's the lead in the Odyssey Christopher Nolan movie.
Oh yeah, okay.
Well, hey, listen.
I'm dubious with that. Tom Holland as anything but like a
listen. Whatever
teenager.
we think of Christopher Nolan, we're not critics. Huh?
No,
the last movie was $1 billion, almost made $1 billion.
This
won Best Picture. Cillian Murphy won Best Actor. If Holland is the lead of that, that's probably going to be a big deal.
I'm not Nolan bashing. He makes blockbusters, this guy.
Yeah.
He made Oppenheimer a blockbuster. He can make the Odyssey a blockbuster. I'm just Tom Holland as...
But if he's the lead, that's going to be a big win for him.
Listen, I think any list of Bonds that doesn't have Logan Paul, I Show Speed,
right,
Mr. Beast on it,
right,
is laughable.
Especially when it's Amazon, and Amazon's already in business with Mr. Beast.
How do you not have Mr. Beast on this list? How do you not float Mr. Beast?
Here's what
He'll do the work in the gym.
Mr. Beast, this is where I could see a silver lining here. I think Mr. Beast is a great Bond villain.
Okay.
Because he's makes elaborate traps, elaborate games. He puts people in these torture situations.
Mental and physical torture.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. You cast your boring Bond. You cast your Jacob Elordi, just total snooze fest as Bond. The villain is where the juice is. So if Denis Villeneuve is smart, which I do think he is, Dune, those two Dune movies, big hits.
Expertly casted.
Yeah. He cast Timmy. I think that...
And Batista.
And
Austin Butler. And Zendaya.
The way to go is you get your stiff as a board, who cares, snooze fest, Jacob Elordi as Bond. But then the villain, who's the real draw, is Mr. Beast. As himself.
Pat,
Don't even have him play Blofeld, or what are the Bond villains? Is it Blofeld?
Blofeld, yep. Nailed it.
Yeah. Don't even have him play Blofeld. Just have him play Mr. Beast. Or Dr. Beast. Dr. Beast.
He got a doctorate in evil.
Yeah. Dr. Beast.
I'm going to throw a sort of left field real quick. And I know we're going long, but this is Bond.
Yeah.
The stop motion CGI monkey from Better Man.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say the Tiny Chef. Have you seen the Tiny Chef thing?
Blowing up online, but not a movie star.
Not a movie star. It's more of a TikTok star.
Yeah.
But maybe you do a deal with the Tiny Chef to promote Bond.
If you want to do a Bond who is racked with guilt and weeps over their past actions, you get Tiny Chef.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm saying, listen, the reason why Better Man, this monkey was cast as Robbie Williams.
Mm-hmm.
We realized that nobody cares about Robbie Williams.
Nobody. Bond in the UK. The UK did not give an F, and I used the real one already, so I have to say F.
Yeah.
Did not give an F about Robbie Williams.
But here's a story.
He's no pulp. This is not. You cast him. Do the Jarvis Cocker movie. That's a huge hit.
Bigger than they've ever been.
Bigger than they ever been.
You take this, which everybody. Okay, nobody saw this movie, but great performance. He's British, right? So you got that going.
The monkey is
the monkey.
Yeah.
How amazing would this be as a comeback narrative to go from this Robbie Williams Better Man movie, which everybody claimed to like, but no one went to see,
right? And
you give him a shot, and as Bond.
Is that any different than Jacob Elordi?
It's not. Jacob Elordi, it means nothing. This monkey can sing and dance.
Like Jacob Elordi, and Priscilla was a solid performer for an indie movie, did do well on that level. But for the most part, Jacob Elordi is an internet creation.
Yes.
Critics like him, but he hasn't made hit movies. Same thing with the monkey from Better Man. Exactly.
They're
Better
the
Man
same
bombed,
level.
but the critics like this monkey.
Yeah.
So the monkey and Jacob Elordi are in the same boat. They're critical online faves that have no real box office bona fides.
And the Better Man monkey dated a All Saints, someone from All Saints, which was one of the biggest girl bands, female pop groups of all time in the UK.
Like a Willa Ford of the UK.
Bigger than Willa Ford. If you can imagine it. Bigger than
Wow.
Willa Ford.
Wow.
So this monkey can get it.
Yeah.
Can get the women. Can seduce the women.
Could get into a suit. I mean, the monkey's already been in a suit. In the Robbie Williams movie, we saw this monkey in a suit.
Yeah. So
and not a monkey suit, a human suit.
Human suit.
Yeah.
I think this is something that people aren't even talking about.
Yeah.
And they're going with a baby girl guy. It's like, who
cares? And
he's going to be in the Beatles movies anyway. He's going to be busy being one of the Fab Four.
Oh, that's gonna go over schedule.
That's going to take up so much time.
Yeah.
So he's out of it.
Yeah, I love this. I love this. The monkey is Bond. And it's Denis Villeneuve.
Story.
And Denis Villeneuve is the perfect director for that because he's a special effects guy. I mean, think of the sandworm in Dune 2. Probably the best character in that movie.
Yes.
People love that sandworm.
Yes.
This is the guy to direct your CGI monkey.
Yes.
This is the Scorsese De Niro situation of the perfect director with the perfect actor. Denis Villeneuve with the CGI monkey from Better Man as Bond. That's something that makes, and we do not give a S or an F about James Bond, but I would go see that. And you get Dr. Beast, Mr. Beast playing Dr. Beast as the villain. That's a movie that young people could get into. And
now we got a red light. Does that mean that we're running out of batteries here?
That could mean that. So we may have to now
wrap up
here because
do I want to check and see if we are actually even on camera?
Go for it.
Okay.
Go check. Well, I'm going to read an email real quick, and it may be recorded or not. We're going to find out. But I got an email from a wannabe oh boy asking a very personal question of me. And Clayton is walking around the studio, checking cameras. But I got this email from the great Keith in New Hampshire. The subject was Pat accent. And he says, "Hi, boys. I have a question for Pat specifically. Where are you originally from? Your accent doesn't sound NY in nature. Here are a few examples. You pronounce because like because, emphasizing the end of the word. Having a laugh. But then on a recent episode, you said meat and potatoes, which kind of threw me for a loop. Anyhow, just curious here. Keith in New Hampshire."
So was Keith saying
that
your whole thing,
my whole thing,
is Big Apple face, is a lie? Is that what Keith has the temerity?
This guy from New Hampshire.
This New Hampshire guy.
And listen.
Has the temerity to ask you where you're from.
And listen, I got nothing against New Hampshire. My wife, which that wasn't my accent, Keith. That was me doing Borat.
Yeah. Borat.
Who
is from Kazakhstan.
From Kazakhstan. So it doesn't mean I'm from Kazakhstan because I said my wife.
Yeah.
But my wife is from New Hampshire. So I have nothing against that place.
Yeah.
I'm maritally obligated to go there a few times a year, see family. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have nothing against New Hampshire when I say this, but Keith, who the F are you?
Who the F are you, Keith?
Who the F are you? And I love that you're a listener. Keep listening. Thank you for your patronage of the BO Boys, but who the F are you?
We love you, Keith.
We love you,
who
Keith.
Who the F are you?
Who the F are you? Listen, I'm from the old neighborhood.
He's a dialect coach, I guess.
If he was a dialect coach, I'd say at least he's making some money off this scam.
That's true, yeah.
But that doesn't seem to be the case. He's just a guy from New Hampshire asking questions out of his ass.
Yeah.
But I'm from the old neighborhood. I'm from Bensonhurst. That could be, I think, what confuses some people is just how New York I am.
Yeah.
That it is absurd.
Well, you say Bensonhurst, but tell them where you're really from.
Gravesend.
And Keith, if you knew anything about New York, you would know that is so much even more New York than Bensonhurst.
That people from Gravesend say they're from Bensonhurst because Bensonhurst seems at least familiar to some people.
Yeah. This guy's from Gravesend.
Look
it up.
I mean, look it up. Watch the web series.
Yes. That's a web series.
From William DeMeo on Amazon Prime. Season 3 coming soon. # God is great. That's how he ends every Instagram post about Gravesend the series, which I've seen every episode of.
Yeah, we're not the Gravesend boys, huh?
Well, no, we're not the Streamo boys, but
yeah,
Gravesend is a must-watch. So yeah, if you want to understand me and where I'm from, you watch Gravesend.
Yeah,
which is just features every star of the last 40 years of mafia movies. They're all in Gravesend. I'm waiting for my invite.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's a listener or YouTube viewer, but William DeMeo, star, creator, director.
Hey, William.
Caters. I think he makes the bowl of pasta. Feeds the crew every episode.
His family meal after every shoot.
Oh, yeah. And during it. On camera, too. So if you get hungry, you just walk off set. You grab a bowl and you just eat on camera because that's what your character would do.
They're all Brad Pitts.
Yes.
Because they all love to eat.
They love to eat on camera. Where is my invite to guest star in an episode of Gravesend the series?
That's a great question.
It's time.
Yeah.
Because you got the wannabe old boys like Keith who are out there just obsessed with my heritage.
The way I speak.
They're all going to watch an episode of the series and kill me off right away.
Yeah.
Because I don't have enough time to star in the show.
Yeah.
But you do an episode where it's a podcast happening in Gravesend. You know, it's a podcaster who's talking about what's going on in Gravesend, you know, who owes who money, what pizzeria is closing down because they're getting shook down and they don't have the money to cover. And I'm podcasting about it. Boom. I owed the wrong guy too much money, shoots me on the head in studio.
And ironically, it's called the Omerta podcast.
Yes.
Which is ironic because you keep talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
you're not silent.
Not silent. That's a great Gravesend podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you get me in there, you blow my brains out on my own podcast. You cut to whoever my co-host is. He's like, no. And you shoot him too.
Yeah.
Because he's there.
And it won't be me because
no.
I mean, Keith doesn't care where I'm from, I guess.
No.
I guess
it'll be Paulie Walnuts.
Yeah.
Who I think is dead, it'll be his brother, who's not an actor, but now is an actor because his brother died.
Yeah.
So it'll be Paulie Walnuts' brother playing my podcast partner on an episode of Gravesend. That's going to be huge.
That's an age gap.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a number.
Wow.
The difference between Paulie Walnuts' brother and
him
is just a number.
That's
just a number.
Well, okay, but I'd still be careful.
Listen, I apologize.
Yes.
For what I just said.
And
I've grown.
I've
grown. I've grown a lot since then.
There's been a lot of growth over this almost 2-hour episode.
You know what? That is we've got so many emails, but let's save the rest in the mailbag for the next episode.
But you had to set Keith straight.
I had to set Keith straight. Yeah. I had to do it.
And that's what it was.
Yeah. I mean, who the F is he? But
we love him.
We love you, Keith. So email us, theboboyspodcast@gmail.com. We love getting your emails, boots on the ground reporting. We will go through a lot of emails on the next episode. So email us there. Follow us on social media at theboboyspod, Instagram, TikTok. Wanna be VP of Interns. Christopher is killing it with the vertical clip, so follow there.
I can't wait to see what he cuts from this.
Oh,
there's so many.
So many. Of course, we are YouTubers. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
So subscribe to the YouTube channel. Look at this episode where cameras were going out and batteries had to be replaced live. And we left it all in.
It's a live feed.
It's a live feed.
F it.
Fuck it. It's a raw feed. We're doing it live.
Yeah, we're doing it live for sure.
So subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell your friends. You got to subscribe to this YouTube channel. These episodes are out of control. Of course, subscribe to the Substack. 5 stars in Apple Podcasts. I mean, you're only getting half the story on the podcast feed, but it's still worth 5 stars.
Yeah, give us 5 stars and say that's 5 stars even though I only am getting half the story.
Yes. And that is it. That is all I got, Clayton. I got nothing else.
Pat, I did finish.
Wow.
Truly, I finished.
Yeah.
And you've said it all, and honestly, too much.
Yeah, no omerta here.
Yes. So there's nothing left to be said.
Great. I could leave finally.
Except for, until next time, we'll smell you at the box office. Nailed it. Hey, guys.